Adams County Commissioner Court come to order. It's Friday, November the 15th, 2024, 10 a.m. meeting, and it's now 10:07 a.m. That's a special call meeting, and agenda, since the comments are none. 1.2, discuss and consider canvassing the official results for the November 5th, 2024 joint general election. Ms. Hopper.
Thank you, Judge and Commissioners. It's been a long year.
Oh, for the record, sorry.
Thank you.
Commissioner Dagley and Commissioner Hammond are not present.
Thank you. It's been a long year. We had a very successful November election. November 5th, 2024 election. We've been preparing for it all year long. And I think that's what made it so successful, is that we had great teamwork throughout the county, an amazing staff that led the way, knocked it out of the park, got it done. And so today we're here to talk about results. I'd like to give you some numbers before we go there. I think that this is kind of interesting for the public. In our election in Chambers County, we had a total number of voters was 25,049. And I have the breakdown in the age group, and I think that's interesting. So 18-year-olds of that 25,000, there were 305. From 19 to 29, there were 3,495. From 30 to 39 was 4,454. 40 to 49, 4,896. 4,896. 50 to 59, 4,537. 60 to 64, 2,063. And 65 and over was 5,299.
That's pretty all the way across.
Well,
So
Need y'all copy that.
yeah.
I will be more than happy to, and I'm going to submit these reports just for the record for posterity as well. But interestingly, obviously, it was pretty equal across the board.
Sure.
Our
seniors are still the biggest voters.
Absolutely.
And that pretty much holds across
Yeah.
America.
I was going to say, and these really kind of matched the nation. So, but it was exciting on our part that we had 300 18-year-olds come. We make a big deal out of it at the polling locations when we have a brand new 18-year-old voter.
Great, Heather.
Yeah, absolutely, because we know that if you vote at that age, you're a lifetime voter. So we make a big deal in the poll itself. So observing myself, saw lots of parents bringing in their seniors in high school and, showing them the ropes, and it was great.
That's so good.
Yeah, it was
That
great.
is good.
Next, I'd like to just move on real quickly because everybody talks about the growth in Chambers County, and so I've got some stats to help back that up. In November of 2020, we had 30,756 registered voters. In November, that was November 3rd of 2020. November 5th of 2024, we had 37,131 voters. So that just tells you that, we've had a growth, a major growth in 48 months of new registered voters.
What was the first number? 2020?
30,756. So, I'll do something for fun and go back even further because it'd be really interesting to back up some of the reasons why we make the decisions we do as a commissioner's court on growth, on future plans, the Justice Center, on how we've come from 2000, 2010, 20, and now 24, just to show that growth in just voter statistics. In November of 2020, we had a 70% turnout for the election, which was amazing because of COVID, if you'll remember. Who can forget?
Mm.
And in November of 2024, we had a 67% turnout. So we've dropped a little in turnout. But I will also remind you that.
But you got a lot more registered voters. also.
Exactly. So you have to look at the big picture on the percentages and figure out that. But I just thought those were interesting for
They
the
are.
public to know.
So we had 25,000 voters. When I came into office, there were 25,000 people.
People, exactly. So
early
that's why I think it's interesting to see the growth. A lot of voters don't understand that you have to be registered. And so that was kind of an issue that we came across because of the growth and because of the media. I'm not going to lie that the message is you can vote anywhere in the county. Nobody reads the small print of where you reside. So we had overflow from Liberty County. That would be maybe they work in Chambers County and they see, the Eagle Drive voting centers open, Barbara Hills vote center is open, and they just pulled in thinking they could vote. And, we had to send them back to Liberty County. And then on 146, JP6 office, the same issue. Lots and lots of Harris County voters thinking that they can just stop on in and vote. So, those are going to happen until that message is in your county. Where you lay your head down is where you reside. Yeah, it was where you vote. Interestingly, just in the last month, so we know this is from limited voting and provisional voting, that since the deadline of October 7th, we've had 300 registrations. So 300 registrations alone, new registrations in this last month. So
This election got everybody excited.
it did, and we had and growing.
Yeah.
Perfect storm.
Yeah. So and we still have not gone through all of the election day provisionals, just because it just takes a lot of time. We know what counted and what didn't, but as far as adding them to the voter registration, because once you vote provisionally, you're automatically now registered in that county. So we'll have more to add even to that number. So hopefully we close out the year with right at probably 37,500 registered voters, which is amazing. Like Jimmy said, at one time we had 25,000 people.
93.
Yeah.
92.
So the official canvas is complete. We had 141 limited ballots. A limited ballot is if you have lived in Texas and doesn't matter if you're from Amarillo or Anahuac, that you have moved to your new county, but you haven't changed your voter registration. We still consider you a registered voter in Texas. So you get to vote on statewide and federal races. We're hoping that we see some legislative changes on that and see that we can make it to where it's a transfer of registration, because we had a lot of folks that missed the deadline, and if they would have we could just transfer it, they would have been able to vote the full ballot. So we're looking at that as a state organization as well. We had 102 early voting provisionals that 25 of them counted. I want to explain that as well because people don't understand that provisional process. A provisional ballot just means that we need to do some more investigation on your registration. Normally, or the majority of what we see, people come in and they say, I know I checked that box when I changed my driver's license at the DPS. But somehow that does not come over to the Secretary of State's statewide voter registration. So it's human error, it's clerical error. So we have the capability of asking DPS to pull that screenshot of their driver's license. And so then we get a report back the next day. So some of them absolutely, or they'll say, I changed it online. I know I did. DPS has the ability to say yes in person or yes online. So that's why those 25 counted, is the majority of that is, or I would think most, all of those 25 were because of DPS corrections. Election day, we had 212 provisionals and only 6 counted. And most of those are people that were not registered to vote in the state of Texas, period. So they are now. And we mailed out 329 mail ballots this year, and 281 of those counted. Our mail ballots compared to 2020 were extremely down. But again, thinking that COVID probably had a lot to do with those who were eligible to receive a mail ballot in 2020, 65 and older. Those people went to the polls, and that is proof in the pudding to
Okay.
our over 65 numbers of them having the highest amount of numbers show up at the polls. So we, as a state, know that, and I can always give my mother as an example, 85. She was 81. She got a mail ballot 4 years ago, and she went to the polls this go round. So that's why we think that number was a lot lower. The canvas then will be posted on our website. The results have not changed dramatically since our unofficial, because of the fact that our ballot board met yesterday, and you can tell that the numbers that counted will be reflected from the unofficial results to the official results. So I don't believe it's necessary for me to go page by page, read the numbers, etc. This is certified by our central counting staff that these are true and correct numbers. And then I will report these to the Secretary of State today, and our constables that will be sworn into office, our new, not new, tax assessor, anybody that was on the ballot then will be sworn into office. And I believe, Jimmy, that date is going to be the 2nd of January.
That's what we discussed.
Yeah, sounds good. Where else I was? Do you all have any questions?
I mean,
No, we don't, and that's, I know Bear County has thousands because of the bases located there, and same with Tarrant, but we just don't have that many military kids.
I'll tell you what,
Great job, Heather. I mean, I've just got a ton of feedback, compared to hearing other people around the state. Didn't hear a lot of nightmares, but I heard nothing but blessings around here about how our elections were run. I want to continue.
Thank you, because it totally, and it's not just my office. As I said Tuesday, it starts, every department basically in this county was asked to do something, and
To help.
and they performed. It was the little things, and it was the preparation of preparing for any kind of catastrophe statewide, that we were prepared beyond belief for this election. And I am telling you, just about every single department in this county had their fingers in it to make it look good, as far as, everything was mowed down to safety. It was just a joy to be a part of this team.
Okay.
Yeah.
totally agree.
Yeah.
In Chambers County, all the staff, volunteers, and everybody.
Co-workers, we didn't have any escalations, we're just blessed that we all can just be Texans and Americans and go vote and go home.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay, I entertain a
So
motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Todd, second by Commissioner Gore to approve the canvassing official results. The November 5th, 2024 joint election. Any other comments, discussion? Congratulations again on the great election.
One more thing,
Go
and
ahead.
so just so you'll know that we currently have a live stream going on. Across the hall here, we are doing our partial manual count, which is required by statute. And that's just what it is. We pull precincts that are given to us, assigned to us by the Secretary of State. This year, they also allowed each county to add an additional 3 precincts. And we will be hand counting those ballots for 2 races. And then they let us pick the third. And because all of our countywide races were unopposed, we're going to do the tax assessor collector's race. And we will be hand tallying those. And the purpose of that is a great audit to show that what you vote on the machines equals out to what we have in hand on paper. So it's just another part of the audit process. And so hopefully we will finish that Monday or Tuesday. It takes a while when you're hand counting and calling. And then we also have a City of Baytown mayor's race runoff. And so that will affect the precincts 11 and 15 over on 146. So early voting for that will start December the 2nd. It's never over, guys. and we will be obviously conducting their election. Early voting will end on December 10th, and then their Saturday, December 14th is election day. So we will then convene the central counting station on that Saturday night, and run through those numbers and submit them to the City of Baytown. So we're still looking at another full month of conducting elections. So I promise you, my staff, we earn every penny that we are given.
Right.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you,
All
Heather.
right, those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. And with that, at 10:24 a.m., we are adjourned.